96.3. The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.
Welcome to Viewpoint, the program of personalities, politicians, and perspectives. This morning we have perspectives, and we have great personalities in our community. And we usually start Viewpoint with a kudo or two. And I'm going to defer my kudo to include our guests. So, Mr. Kirby, would you go ahead and introduce our guests this morning, please?
I will do that. Our guests today are from the Moms Who Care organization, Marla Williams and Cindy Ossiger. So, ladies, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for asking us.
Yeah, well, when we called them to ask them as guests, they were both going to meet at Old Joe's this morning at 7:30. And we got them
That's why I was late getting here.
we got them to change their schedule. So, on a serious note, these two ladies, and I've just admired this for so long, Moms Who Care. They're going to tell us what Moms Who Care is, but locally, they do a great deal of good for kids who need a little extra nudge. So let's go right ahead Mr. Kirby.
Okay, well, I guess the obvious question is, can you tell us about Moms Who Care, the organization, and
Who's president?
Cindy is.
Ossiger.
We're co.
But who's the talker? Cindy.
Moms Who Care is a non-for-profit organization. And it was started in East Peoria, Illinois, actually, by a group of moms who saw the need and made hygiene bags and took them to the school, gave them to the nurse and said, pass these out to kids who need them. When you need more, let us know. And they did that. Eventually, the school said, why don't we just give you a room and you can have your stuff there and the kids can come down and get it. So that's how it kind of got started. We found out about it because a friend of ours moved over that way, and she got involved with the program. So when we retired, we always said we wanted to do something with kids when we retired. So we went over and visited the program and fell in love with it as soon as we saw it.
And they did something about it, Lloyd. They
Yeah.
saw a positive need here in Logan County, and they just decided to join that church. And we now have Moms Who Care in Lincoln, Illinois. And I'll just leave it to whomever you want to talk about the things that you do, physical things that kids are not going to get on a day-to-day basis if it hadn't been for Moms Who Care. I think what you do is an extremely important thing for kids who are, I'll use the word, disadvantaged. And they've got to bring to the front some great things for some children who have a real need.
Well, and the thing is, they are very appreciative of everything we do for them.
That's
Some
nice
people
to know.
think that like high school kids, they're not appreciative and they wouldn't show it. But we get hugs. They, tell us all the time, you guys are like angels that came at a time for me. They're so appreciative of everything we do for them. I saw a ex-student, because she's graduated now and she has a job, and I saw her the other day and she told me that she took some hygiene items to one of our drop-off places to give back. So I thought that made us feel really good too, to see that, one of our students who came to us now out in the workforce is helping with our program. The things that we give the kids, hygiene items, we have school supplies, snacks, a little bit of snacks, not a lot anymore. Some clothing. The kids come in. We like to have a variety of different, like maybe 6 or 7 different kinds of shampoo, this kind of stuff. So they come in and we give them a bag, little basket, and they just shop like they're at Walmart. I told them, I said, it's just like going to Walmart, except when you get done, you don't have to pay for anything. And then we use like gift bags or bags like from Bath and Body or something like that to put their items in. So when they leave the room, it looks like they just have something, like a nice gift or something in there. And it doesn't make them feel like they had to go in this room and get this stuff and it's in a plastic
Walmart
bag.
bag.
Yeah.
Trash bag or something?
Yeah. Right.
Now, you recently had something about prom dresses.
Oh, yeah.
We
And
did.
I think that it was a very successful venture, if I remember reading correctly about that. So
It
tell us
was-
about prom
it was
dresses.
a wonderful
Now, you might
year.
think, ladies and gentlemen out there in the listening audience, both of you pay attention out there, you might think that prom dresses are maybe a fairly extra. But to a young lady who's of that age, that's kind of a self-important thing. And so you raised the self-importance of a lot of young ladies. So let's tell us about the prom dresses.
We had the prom dresses donated, and a lot of the dresses came from Sherry at Simply Elegant, the wedding store. But we had some other dresses from other people. We had it for 2 days, on a Friday evening after school, and then a Saturday morning. The girls could come and shop for the dresses. We had schools from Lincoln, Mount Pulaski, Hartsburg, Clinton.
Really?
The girls came from all over. Havana. They came and they could shop for their dresses. We had all sizes. The Women's Club, Lincoln Women's Club, helped us. That's where we were. They came and the ladies helped us there. They tried on dresses, and we sent dresses home with
37 girls.
37.
I can't help but think you raised the self-esteem of a lot of young ladies.
Well, we had
There's
one
so
in
much-
yesterday, and there was a young man in there too, and he said, I understand she has a beautiful dress for the prom. And we said, yes, it is. It's very nice.
So she'd been telling people.
Yes,
and-
about her dress.
Yeah.
So.
I'd like for you folks to feel free to call in to Cindy Ossiker or Marla Williams, Moms Who Care here in Lincoln, Illinois, doing a great deal of good for youngsters who are perhaps in a position for an extra little boost or two gives them what they need. 648-5510. If you know any comments, be nice to them because they're very, very nice ladies. And Mr. Kirby here, he's bigger than I am. He can whip you if you don't take care of him. But I don't want to be facetious about this matter. There's a lot of good done there for kids who, well, for instance, personal hygiene items that some kids may not even have an awareness of, let alone get or know how to get them.
Right.
They can get it right here from the Moms Who Care. So 648-5510. Call Cindy or Marla and be nice to them. Go ahead, Mr. Kirby.
So obviously you had the prom dress giveaway. You have, isn't your sort of the big push at the beginning of school where you begin giving items out, the personal hygiene and so forth?
We do it
Or-
every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
We go to the high school and junior high. We do. Every Tuesday morning, we're at the high school, and then every Tuesday afternoon, we're at the junior high. And then we also go to Chester East Lincoln and West Lincoln Broadwell, and we have two ladies that go to Chester East and two ladies that go to, and they go once a month there. But we go every week. At the junior high, we have like 8th grade 1 week, 7th grade 1 week, 6th grade 1 week. Because we have about 20 out of each one of those classes. So, and then at the high school, we do freshmen, juniors 1 week, sophomores, seniors another, and then we just rotate that through. So they get to come at least twice a month if they need to.
You know, Jim and Lloyd and listeners, it just occurs to me, these two ladies labored in the trenches a long time as teachers, professional teachers. And when they quit professionally, they didn't quit helping our kids at all. They're right back in the trenches again.
Well, there used to be an old joke that a teacher is a person who went to school and never got out.
Yeah.
These ladies never got out.
These ladies never,
right.
never did quit. And they're dedicated to this. And that's why I wanted, and by the way, they can't go to the drugstore and just ask them for a handout. They have to buy this stuff. So let's talk economics for just a minute. How would one, I meant to bring a check this morning. How would one donate to Moms Who Care? And that's very important. And I'd like to make a suggestion too that if you have an elderly family member that has a couple extra bucks and they don't know what they want to do with it, advise them. And another thing that you can do is you can suggest to the funeral directors in town that they might suggest to bereaved families that make a very nice memorial. So, girls, let's talk about money.
We have a checking account at State Bank / Heartland Bank. So you can go right there to the bank and just give a donation there, and they'll put it right into our account, and then they will send us a deposit slip on that. You can send it to either one of our houses for financially, but then we also like to take items so that we don't have to shop quite so much.
Yeah.
And we have drop-off places at Brian Clark's State Farm office. There's a box in there. We have a box out at UCP Bank. We have another box up at
downtown.
USA Mortgage downtown. She has a box in there for us. And then out at Simply Elegant, she'll take things out there too. So we have like 4 different places that you can drop off items, or financially, just send
So
it.
maybe we can get them thinking the tunnels to towers mode. $11 a month is not very much for what they do on that charity. A couple of bucks a week for Moms Who Care on a regular basis, instead of once a month for $10. How about that, Lloyd?
Every bit helps.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, go right
That's
ahead,
right.
sir.
We just went last week, was it last Monday?
Yes.
Last Monday, we went and bought tennis shoes. We bought 37 pair, 47, 37.
37
I think 37. 37's a
It
good
is a
number
good
for us.
number for
That's how
us.
many prom dresses, that's how many shoes.
Now, where's your storeroom and whose house is the storeroom?
Well, it was the back of our cars
Oh, dear. Oh, my goodness.
on that
yeah.
one, but,
Both of our houses are storerooms
Yes.
too.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm certain of that.
yes, so we took for the junior high and high school kids that we bought tennis shoes for. And yesterday, some of the kids that came in had their shoes on, and they were just like, still beaming, you know, because they got these new shoes. We had one boy who had a hole in the bottom of his shoe. Those were the shoes that he was wearing. So now he has a brand new pair. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
So in addition to the, you have the prom dress giveaway, you have the weekly sort of items. Do you have any other sort of, I don't know, fundraisers or anything that you do as far as community awareness where folks, you know, might see you out and
Go
about?
and talk to any organization that will ask us.
Or church.
Or
We've been
church.
to all
Or
the
radio
churches.
stations.
Yeah, or radio stations, that's right. Like I told you, I like to talk, so I like to talk about Moms Who Care.
She does.
And I got so carried away. I'm so enthused about what you ladies do that I thought we have commercials we have to recognize.
Okay.
So go right ahead, Miss. I'm in the studios here, WLCN 96.3, Highland County Road 2250. Special guest this morning on Viewpoint, Marla Williams and what's your name, officer?
Oh, I'm Cindy.
I thought I'd try to pull that and see if it would work. Well, Brad, we'll chalk that one up to Brad.
Okay, all right.
Cindy Ossiker and Marla Williams, two ladies, retired teachers, and they never retired at all. They just jumped in the full four-bore. And Moms Who Care is a very, very important adjunct to the lives of some kids that need a little extra boost. Mm-hmm. And so we thought we'd let the public know that, well, they have to go buy some things.
Right.
And so if you're disposed to be downtown, go by the State Bank of Lincoln and write a check and give it to them for Moms Who Care. They'll put it in the right account. Do that on a regular basis, by the way. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Yeah. So we were talking off air that you don't have any like big fundraising events or anything like that, but you have had some organizations who have held events and then contributed. Do you want to give a shout out to those folks who have kind of helped you out along the way?
Sure. The Lincoln Elks, it was Lynn Bates that actually put it together. I forget what tournament that really was, but they had a tournament out there, a golf tournament, and then the proceeds came to us. Precision Movement has done the exercise thing a couple of times, and people could bring items or they could bring money to that. The other one was the purse party for the,
Logan County.
Logan County Professionals.
yes, I never can remember their little name, but that was really very, very nice. They did that. And they said they'd like to do it again sometime, but,
We both came away with purses, too.
Well, yes, we did.
We did contribute to that one, too.
Now, ladies, are you aware of other moms who care in other school districts, maybe south of us around here? This started in Peoria, as I understand it, and that's where
East
you got
Peoria.
acquainted with it. And you decided to do something about it. You didn't
Right.
say that was real. That's nice. And that was where it stopped. They did something. And they continue to do something. They devote their time and their own expenses, and I salute them every morning.
we appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Yes, thank you.
So we've talked about the distribution at the schools and your different schedules of when you're there. What about the summer months when schools aren't in session? Is
We
there?
breathe, we sleep.
We don't shop on Mondays. That's our shopping day.
Yeah, we don't really do a lot even to get prepared for it or anything. We kind of, towards August, we start, kind of putting things out there again, hey, don't forget.
We'll still take donations
Oh, yeah.
during the summer. That's when our houses become the place for donations.
Yes.
But usually about August, then we'll start in again and start shopping.
So how many youngsters would you see in the course of the school session?
We had 20, how many?
24 at the junior high yesterday.
That was sixth graders. And then we had freshmen and juniors at the high school yesterday, and I think that was 18 or something.
Yes.
So.
I thought you were going to say 37 again.
I know it. I bet if we add those together, it'd be close to 37 though.
So what goes into, you said about August, you sort of start preparing for the upcoming year. What does that involve? Do you need to, in addition to gathering the supplies, do you have to make arrangements as far as when you're going to be at different schools, or do you kind of have standing appointments from year to year?
Yeah, because we always did Thursdays, but then this past year, the junior high had a conflict with that, so then we had to come up with a different day. And then we like to do it both schools in the same day, so we had to go to the high school and see if that would work with them and stuff. We start going through our stuff, because our last day is May 9th, I think. So we'll pack everything up. We've got tubs and stuff, and we'll pack everything up. But then we got to go in and say, okay, what do we have? What are we going to need to get started on and stuff?
And make sure that we have a room where we're going to be for that year too, so.
Junior high, we've been really fortunate. We've
Yes.
been in the same room the whole entire time. The high school, we've moved a lot. And I think it hurt our numbers this year because we're way down by the gym. And we had a student came the other day and said, I've been looking for you all year. And they didn't even know where we were at.
No.
So.
Is that interesting?
So I don't know, I hope we can stay in this room, maybe that will help next year, they'll kind of get the idea of where it's at and stuff, but, so that's the main thing, is just making sure we've got stuff.
648-5510. There may be somebody out there in the listeners, at least one of the two listeners out there, Lloyd, that has experience this program with their own youngster or know of a youngster in the neighborhood who's been the beneficiary of their work. So if you know somebody who has something to talk about the Moms Who Care, call in and talk to Cindy and Marla. They're actually not, if they were as good at teachers in the classroom as they're doing this job, somebody got some doggone good education.
That's true. So as far as the students who avail themselves of your services, how does that work? Do do they need to be recommended by like a faculty member, or do they just come in of their own free will, or how do the folks who utilize your services sort of qualify?
You know, it's
or-
they're supposed to qualify by being on free and reduced lunch. But I don't know who's on free and reduced lunch.
And they don't tell us
No,
that.
the school doesn't tell us that. So when the kids come, you know, you don't know what's happening at home. So you don't know if dad's lost his job or mom is sick and, you know, those kind of things. So we just feel like if kids come in and they want something, they're more than welcome to have it.
They have to have a pass.
Have to have a pass
From-
from their teacher. We do get some recommendations from, like, you know, somebody will come down, the guides people come in and, you know, I've got this student that really needs, you know, this and this, and so send them down, you know, we'll take care of them, so. But that's basically it. That's how we end up doing it. It's free to anybody who wants it.
Yes.
That was like our prom dresses were too. You didn't have to be one of our moms who care kids. You didn't have to, you know, we didn't have to prove that they were in need or anything. If they wanted to come in and get a dress, they were more than welcome to come in and get a dress. And the same thing with the shoes. At the high school, we put a sign-up sheet and had the kids sign up, tell us their size. So there were a lot of kids that said no, they didn't feel like they needed a pair, and that's fine. At the junior high, it was recommended by the teachers. They
You know,
picked the kids.
Cindy mentioned a simple thing like shoes. Nobody ever thinks about that. She always just assumed that everybody goes to school with a decent something on their feet. And apparently that's not the case in all
No,
this. So,
It's not. Or they have shoes. We had a high school boy whose dad made him wear this one pair of shoes because they were new, but they didn't fit him. They were too small for him. And so the guidance office came to us and said, is there any way you can get him a pair of shoes? And so we did. We got him new shoes, and
no, there's about as basic and simple as you can get, and as far as a need is concerned, daily needs.
One of our high school students said that she had never had new shoes before.
brand new shoes.
She
yeah.
was like the youngest, and so that she just got hand-me-downs. So she'd never had new shoes until we got her the new shoes. And
How good do you think that would make them feel walking around in something
Wow.
that was decent on their feet and comfortable
Oh,
and
yeah.
safe?
They were saying, we had a girl the other day
Yes.
that when she put hers on, she goes, oh, it's like walking on cotton or something, you know, it was just, it was so much better than the shoes that she had.
we had fun buying all these different
yeah.
shoes too, and we
I
didn't
want you
buy
to think
any that
about
were
that,
the same.
folks.
We bought them all different shoes, and
Just think about that, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the listening area. A basic need like a pair of shoes, which is some youngster out there is not attainable.
They've also bought-
You know, we'd like to think that in this day and age that doesn't happen. Well, the real world says that does happen.
we've bought shoes for sports too. If a student is involved in a sport and they need certain shoes for that, and you know, shoes are expensive for just a sport, so we bought shoes for that too if they need that.
What would be the youngest age that comes under your auspices?
Well, with us, it's sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, Chester East, they go down to fifth grade.
Yeah.
They're fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth is kind of their junior high area. So we do have some fifth graders. The problem, if you go much lower than that, they don't know how to shop. I mean, they don't. Mom does that. Mom buys the shampoo. Mom buys the toothpaste.
If.
Mom if they have it, right.
Yeah.
And so they really don't know what they're supposed to get. And the older kids, oh my goodness, they smell the smells. They ask questions about toothpaste. Which one of these do you think is best for cavities? You know, that
They
kind of-
do.
You know, it's just some of the questions that they come up with, and then they'll request. We have two students at the junior high that like charcoal toothpaste.
We didn't
So-
know about charcoal
Yeah.
toothpaste.
They even have charcoal toothbrushes too. but
Yes.
We haven't purchased any of those, but, so we buy it for her and put it away, and then when she comes in, she goes, do you have any charcoal toothpaste? Yes, we have some for you, so. One young man wanted socks. That's another thing.
Yes.
We give a lot of socks out. So a lot of people donate the shorter
Yeah,
socks, you know. He wanted taller socks.
Yeah.
Black ones.
Black. So we buy him black, whenever we see some that are really nice, we get those for him. And he comes in and he goes, "You got any socks today?" "Yes, we've got socks for you," you know.
Socks are really big. So if anybody has new socks,
Yeah, we don't do any used socks. We will take gently used clothing, some,
Yeah.
but we've been referring a lot of that to the Threads, that program at the Salvation Army, to help them out, and the kids go there and pick out. They've got more variety of stuff, and they have a bigger area to have all the clothes, because that takes a lot of room to have those.
our room's too small for that.
Right. And spirit wear. So anybody out there that's got like gently used railer shirts or jackets or, you know, pullover kind of things, or the Trojan ones for the junior high, or even Chester East or West Lincoln, donate those to the school for us, because the kids do like to come in and get. They
Some
like to
kids
be
have
able
never
to.
had, they've never had that before, or an option to be able to
Marla,
buy
did-
sweatshirt.
Did you and Cindy dream at all how involved that you would find yourselves
No.
getting? You got in, just all of a sudden the hole kept getting deeper and deeper,
No.
and you just kept digging.
I still remember the day we came home from East Peoria, and we just went to guest house, and we just started talking about what did we see up there, and what could we do here in Lincoln, and it just went from that day. It just started right then, and it
And
was
these are our
just-
own ladies and gentlemen, out there in the listening audience. These are our own wives in our own community doing work for their own kids. Ladies who labored in the teaching trenches for a long time. I'm not going to tell them how old they are. But they labored long enough to retire, and they didn't retire. They stayed right in the trenches. So every time I think of these two ladies, I doff my hat in their direction.
So what year did you begin with the first distribution or something you had for the kids?
17, yeah.
2017.
2017?
Yeah.
And do you remember how many kids there were that
Yes,
part
yes.
then? 37, I'm guessing?
No. The first day we were at the high school, we had
In 3 hours.
You were
had
there 3
two.
hours.
We were there for 3 hours, and we had 2 students come in.
Wow.
We were so disappointed, but we called our friend who's a part of it, and she said, "But just think, you just helped 2 people. So don't think of it as you didn't have a big number. You helped 2 people."
So we went back.
And then those 2 people brought people. So it just kind of grew
And
from.
it's just grown exponentially after
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
So is there anything in particular, if folks are out there and wanting to donate? You mentioned the monetary donations, they could do those at State Bank or send you checks. As far as goods go, or if they want to donate at one of the drop-off points that you mentioned, are there particular items that they should, or particular things they should not donate that maybe they might think would be okay?
The hygiene items, we take like shower gel. We do take bars of soap because a lot of kids do take that once in a while. Shampoo, conditioner, lotions, deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste. For the high school, we buy those body sprays kind of stuff for them. We don't do that for the junior high kids. That's just the high school. Those are our main items.
Brand new.
And
Items.
full size.
Full size.
Full-size bottles. A lot of people try to give us those little bottles from,
Trial or
Yeah.
travel size?
yeah, or things they've picked up at a hotel. They do, we have a basket, and we just throw those in there, and they do take those. I say, throw some of these in your book bag if you're going to your friend's house or something, But they're only supposed to get those big items once a month from us. So that way they're not coming 2 times a month and getting 2 big bottles of everything. So it should last them at least a month.
But we're sitting here talking about items that we just consider every day in a home. It's not a big deal. Well, your youngsters you're serving, it's a big deal.
It is.
The other thing that we try to do with that is, you can go to some of these places where they have dollar shampoos and stuff like that. Well, I always feel like they can afford that, what they can't afford are the ones that are up on the top shelf that are a little bit more expensive. Or like Bath and Body, that Bath and Body shop in Bloomington, Springfield. They love the smells. I mean, oh my gosh, we have the lotions and stuff from there. Sometimes it just
And
gets
it's
a little.
boys and girls.
Yeah, they're like popping them and smelling the smells, and then they'll bring it over. Smell this. What do you think of this one? You know, but so that's kind of it's not just the item; it's getting some of those items that they couldn't have because they couldn't afford them.
You know, it occurs to me, these are two ladies, but we got the right two ladies to do this job, and that's important. They are really immersed in what they're wanting to do in the way of serving the youngsters in the community. And you go by, tip your hat to them. Go buy a hat if you want. I'll buy you a hat so you can tip it. But seriously, I don't want to be facetious about this at all. They're fulfilling a real need for some youngsters who have a need.
And those needs, I mean, obviously, there's the hygienic aspect of it as far as, personal health and grooming and so forth. But I'm guessing once the kids get those items, that probably spills over into, how they might act socially, maybe into their academic performance. Do you ever hear about any success stories sort of related to that from some of the teachers or counselors that maybe you've helped along the way with students?
Oh, we do. We had a student that came to us and he decided he needed a job. So, and haircuts. We've given out haircuts too. So
Seriously.
he wanted a haircut coupon, and he'd been coming to us for a while. And then he wanted to go out to Wendy's to go get a job. And so he came back in and told us that he got a job, that he wouldn't have to come to see us anymore, that he was making
Get to
it.
pay for his own stuff now.
So,
We felt like the mother bird.
Oh,
And
it was
our
wonderful.
little bird was taking off now. It was kind of hard to see him leave, but
or when they graduate from high school. I mean, we keep track of our seniors and
our graduation rate has gone up.
yes, we have kept track of that.
So we've noticed that. So we have a lot more that are staying in school, even through the COVID part of it. We had a lot more of our students that stayed in school and got their degree of some kind. So.
Very cool. Yes,
Oh,
sir?
well, I try to defer to one another here. I don't want to hog with too many comments because I am very, very enthused about what these girls do, and I have so much respect for them. And if you see them on the street, pat them on the shoulder and say thanks, because they're doing a heck of a lot of good out there for your kids.
And people do that. You'd be surprised. We'll be
Well, I'm glad to know
in
that.
shopping, like at Walmart or, in a store uptown or something, and they'll reach in their pocket and they'll give us maybe $5. And this is all I can give you right now. And that's fine. Well, we just appreciate what you do. And so it is nice to, and then when we're at Walmart, we're shopping, they'll go, oh, you're shopping today, aren't you? Yes, we are.
That's neat. That's
Every
really
Monday.
neat. And God knows they're not doing it for any recognition. We know that because I know these ladies. They don't do it for that kind of. They're in it because of why they're in it. And that's what makes it so good about here in Lincoln, Logan County, having our own do what they're doing.
Absolutely. So you mentioned haircuts, and we talked about the personal hygiene items and the clothing. Are there any other sort of service kind of things such as haircuts that people can get, that students can get through the program? Or are there any other things that maybe you're hoping to be able to add in the future if a donor comes along and you offer this, but wouldn't it be great if we could add this, or wouldn't it be great if we could do this? Any visions like that?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
We've helped out with school lunches at the high school. Student needed lunch money on his lunch card, and we've helped
We
there.
buy the mortar and tassels for graduation, so they can go through graduation. We'd buy the robes, but they had a bunch of them at the junior high, or the high school that they can use. So we bought those for students so they can walk with the rest of their class.
Do Brad and Donnie ever ask you ladies what you got them into?
Oh, we just dropped another program.
I hope we're not off the air.
No, we're still on.
Whatever it was, it's fixable.
That was Don and Brad.
Yeah, I think that was them telling you what they thought.
Yeah.
Well, I have to think that, you know, your guys are involved in this because they help you with this a lot. So give Don and Brad a little extra push too while we're at it. Maybe I'll buy them a beer at Old Joe's.
They've been very,
Yes.
Brad likes to rumble sometimes, but
They
Well,
both do,
they're,
but
you know,
They're
very,
there
very
to-
helpful
yeah.
and.
We've earned that right.
we needed them both for the prom setup. They
Oh,
needed to
yes.
help us out with our racks for the dresses.
We got those from Carrie McIntyre. She does a coat giveaway, so she has all of these racks for clothing. So we borrowed racks from her, and it was so nice, very, very nice to have those big sturdy racks. We had some others that we use at the high school, and they're
They-
very flimsy. You put about 3 dresses on there, and they want to fall over. So it was nice to have these new racks from her. And the guys had to help us go pick them up and put them together and stuff, so.
I know of a dry cleaner, if he were still in business, would be cleaning the proms for these young
Yeah.
ladies.
Well, we did, and all the dresses, if they needed to be altered, Dorothy Sullivan.
Yes,
She's the
God
seamstress in
love her.
town. She did it for free. She
Yes.
didn't charge
She
anything.
would,
And she
too,
came
yeah.
to the prom event. So she was there
Fit
when the
the
girls
girls?
were trying their dresses on, and then they'd go to Dorothy, and she would say, yes, I can do this, you come here, and they'd make an appointment. So Dorothy did all of that for us for
Yes.
free.
Well,
And
hats
this
off to
is like
her.
the 3rd year
Yes.
she's helped us with that, so.
I haven't had to alter my pants recently, so the next time I'm in, I'll have to be sure and mention that.
Yes.
So, yes.
I've reached a point where I don't expand or contract.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's just there. Whatever it is, it's just there. Some places like big box stores, let's see, Walmart, for instance, will they give you an extra break if you go and buy an amount from them?
I don't know.
I
We've
don't know.
never-
I'll give you a good
Never
tip.
asked.
I went to them after we moved into the Christian homes. I got thinking, we always had flags on Lincoln Avenue and Peoria Street. We had a battle between the two streets, who had the most flags. I got to thinking about it. One day I was at Walmart, and I asked to see the manager, and he came around and introduced himself and told him where I live, and I said, you know, it'd be nice if we get Walmart to give us flags. And by God, he bought into that. We all have flags out there, and plus two or three big flags for our big poles. And so maybe just a little ask, and you might,
Yeah.
who knows?
That's true.
Especially.
So I never
in-
badmouthed Walmart from that day on.
Yeah. Well, like especially in the winter too, when we get hats and gloves, because we buy a lot of just the little stocking cap and gloves, and that would be something good. Or socks.
Yes,
We do go through a lot of socks.
we do.
So we kind of hopping around here, but you
That's
talked
fine.
about the prom
okay.
dress giveaway. How does that work? Like, because you said you had 37 folks that came and took part. How does that work? Do they come in and someone meets them, or do they kind of shop around for dresses and try them on, or what's the organizational part of that?
We did that with Women's Club. That way we used their we used the
Right.
building. Well, we're part of Women's Club, so it was easy to do. And we had ladies there, so they kind of went around with them if they needed it, and showed them the sizes if they had a certain size. We had 4 different dressing rooms kind of set up. They would take the dresses back, try them on, come out. We had full-length mirrors so they could see themselves in it and stuff. And then when they decided which dress they wanted, they just brought it up to us, and we had, Sherry had gotten us dress bags that said prom on them, and so we were able to put their dresses in that, and they could leave just like they were leaving a regular store. They just, when the girls came in, we had them sign in, and then we just kind of kept a tally of how many, I think we had like 49, maybe 50 girls that actually came, but only 37 that got dresses.
And cookies and punch, we tried to
Yes.
make it festive for them.
And for the, like, parents, if
Yes.
they came, so they could have, cookie and something to drink, and
We had several dads that brought their daughters in, and it was fun. We had a
It
a
was
good
fun.
time.
And the ladies from the women's club that, some of them this year were the first time they'd ever done it. And they're like, sign us up for next year. We're ready. We're ready. We want to do it again next year. So, and it's neat to see the girls and they get all excited. And sometimes and we have shoes, we have purses,
Right, I
little
thought you had
clutch purses
accessories.
and stuff, and jewelry.
Jewelry.
So they'll put their dress on and they decided what they want and they'll kind of walk around and then see if they can find jewelry. And we had one of our ladies from Women's Club, like she would be like picking up jewelry. Okay, I think this would look really good with your dress. And that's it. It's a very fun event.
Yes.
And just while we're on the subject of Women's Club, next week we'll have Ellen Dobahall on from the Lincoln
Oh.
Women's Club. So
Yes,
she told
can
us.
sort of tell us more about their involvement as well as their other projects. But obviously today it is Moms Who Care Day with Marla Williams and Cindy Ossiker. Running out of time, so any final questions, thoughts, Mr. Gossett?
648-5510 is your last chance to call it. Somebody call up and tell these girls what a nice job they're doing. I'll take you out to Old Joe's. Or maybe we'll just all meet there for a group grope. We do appreciate, ladies, you're taking your time. Number one, we appreciate you taking time to tell us about Mom Who Cares. But more specifically, we appreciate moms who care. And here are two moms who really care, and they put their heart and their soul into this. So thank you, ladies. We appreciate your being with us very, very much. And we urge people to remember Mom Who's Cares. You're going by the state bank, drop in there and write them a little check.
Well, we thank you for your support
Yes.
through all the years that we've been doing this, because you've been a very big supporter of us.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
thank you.
Well, it's a labor of love.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Okay. Thank you very much for the report.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.